This concludes the court's explanation of the legal aspects of this case. And now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I come to my final instruction to you. Murder in the first degree, premeditated homicide, is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. You listened to the testimony and you had the law read to you and interpreted as it applies to this case. It now becomes your duty to try and separate the facts from the fantasy. One man is dead. The life of another is at stake. I urge you to deliberate honestly and thoughtfully. If there is a reasonable doubt, then you must bring me a verdict of not guilty. If, however, there is no reasonable doubt, then you must, in good conscience, find the accused guilty. However you decide, your verdict must be unanimous. In the event you find the accused guilty, the bench will not entertain a recommendation for mercy. The death sentence is mandatory in this case. I don't envy you your job. You are faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you, one and all.
Moving along, ladies and gentlemen.
Say, you want some gum? You know, I bought it for the weather today. It's the hottest day of the year. I think that at least air conditioning place. I almost dropped dead in court.
Okay. Everything's here. If there's anything you need, I'm right outside. Just not.
I never knew they locked the door.
Sure, they locked the door. What did you think?
I don't know, it just never occurred to me, I guess.
Hey, what's that for?
Well, I was figuring we ought to vote by ballot.
Great idea. Maybe we can get an elected senator.
How'd you like it?
I don't know. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah? I was falling asleep.
I mean, I've never been on a jury before.
Really? I've sat on juries. It always amazes me the way these lawyers can talk and talk and talk. Sorry. Especially when a case is as obvious as this one was.
Well, I guess they're entitled.
Sure they are. That's the system. Look, I'm the last one to say anything against it. And I just feel like, though, if we took these tough kids and slapped them down before they made any big trouble, it would save us a lot of time and money.
Hey, Mr. Foreman, how about getting started here?
Yeah, we've probably all got places to be.
Well, I was figuring we ought to take a 5-minute break. I mean, the old man's in the bathroom.
Are we gonna sit in water?
I don't know.
Not a bad view. So, what did you think of the case? Had a lot of interest for me. No dead spots, know what I mean? I'll tell you, we were lucky to get a murder case. I figured us for a burglary or an assault or something like that. Those can be the dollars, huh? Say, isn't that the Warwick building right over there?
That's right.
Funny. I've lived through all my life and I've never been inside it.
Damn waste of time. Yeah. Can you imagine sitting in here for 3 days just for this? What about the business with the knife? I mean, asking grown-up people to believe that kind of crap? Well, look, you gotta expect that.
You know
what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I suppose so. What's the matter? You got a cold?
And how? These hot weather colds can kill you. I can hardly touch my nose, know what I mean?
Well, your horn's all right. Now try your legs. That's beautiful. The fan doesn't work. Somebody take a letter to the mayor. Dear Stingy.
Here, let me take a look at it. It doesn't work.
I didn't get a chance to look at the news yesterday. Anything new going on?
I was just wondering how the market closed.
I wouldn't know. Say, are you on the exchange or something?
I'm a broker.
Really? I run a messenger service, the Beck and Call company. Name's my wife's idea. I employed 37 people. Started with nothing.
Hey, Mr. Foreman, let's get started in here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take seats.
This better be fast. I got tickets to the ball game tonight. Yankees, Cleveland. We got this new kid pitching, Jurix, or whatever his name is. He's a real bull, this kid. Shoom, a real jug handle. You're quite the ball fan, aren't you? Where do you want us to sit?
Well, I was thinking we ought to sit in order of jury numbers. You know, 2, 3, 4, and so on. If that's all right with you, ladies and gentlemen.
What's the difference?
I think it's fine to sit according to jury number.
Let it be.
So, tell me, what was your impression of the prosecuting attorney?
I beg pardon?
I thought he was real sharp. I mean, the way he hammered home his points, one by one, in logical sequence. It takes a good brain to do that. I was very impressed.
Yes, I think he's an expert.
I mean, he had a lot of drive, too. Real drive.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
How about sitting down? The gentleman at the window. How about sitting down?
Pretty tough to figure, isn't it? A kid killed his father. Bing, just like that.
Well, if you analyze the figures...
What figures? It's those people, I'm telling you. They let the kids run wild up there. Well, maybe it serves them right, know what I mean?
Hey, you a Yankee fan?
No. Milwaukee.
Milwaukee? That's like being hit on the head with a crowbar once a day. Who they got? I'm asking, who they got besides great groundskeepers? Milwaukee?
We'd like to take seats.
I'm sorry.
All right. Now, you ladies and gentlemen can handle this any way you want. I mean, I'm not going to have any rules. If we want to discuss first and then vote, that's one way. Or we can vote right now to see where we stand. Well, that's all I have to say.
I think it's customary to take a preliminary vote.
Yeah, let's vote. Maybe we can all go home.
It's up to you. Just let's remember, we've got a first-degree murder charge here. If we vote guilty, we send the accused to the electric chair. That's mandatory.
I think we all know that.
Come on, let's vote.
Yeah. Who's where?
Anyone doesn't want to vote? Okay. This has to be a 12-0 vote either way. That's the law. Are we ready? Those voting guilty, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 for guilty. Not guilty.
For the love of...
1. Right. Okay. 11-1 in favor of guilty. Now we know where we are.
Well, I guess we talk.
Oh, boy.
I mean, look, you really think he's innocent?
I don't know.
I mean, let's be reasonable. You sat in court and heard the same things we did. The man's a dangerous
The
kid.
man?
You could
He's
see it.
16 years old.
It's old enough. He knifed his own father 4 inches into the chest.
It's pretty obvious. I mean, I was convinced from the first day.
Well, who wasn't? I really think this is one of those open and shut things. They proved it a dozen different ways. Would you like me to list them for you?
No,
Then what do you want?
nothing. I just want to talk.
You just want to
What's
talk.
there to talk about? 11 people here agree. Nobody had to think twice about it except you.
I want to ask you something. Do you believe his story?
I don't know. Maybe I don't.
What'd you vote not guilty for?
There were 11 other people in here who raised their hands for guilty. It's not easy
Who
for
says
me.
it's easy for me?
No one.
What, just because I voted fast? I think he's guilty. You couldn't change my mind
I'm
if you
not
talked about it
trying
around
to
in
change your
here.
mind. It's just that we're talking about somebody's life here. We can't decide in 5 minutes. Suppose we're wrong.
Oh, suppose we're wrong. Suppose this whole building fell on my head. You can suppose anything.
That's right.
What's the difference how long it takes? We honestly think he's guilty. Suppose we take 5 minutes. So what?
Let's take an hour.
An hour?
The voting doesn't start till 8 o'clock.
Okay, Slugger. Be my guest.
Well, who's got something to say? Okay. How about you?
Not me.
I'm willing to put in an hour.
Great. I heard a pretty good story last night. A woman comes running into
That's
the doctor's
not what we're
office.
sitting here for.
The woman comes running into the doctor's office, stripped to the waist. All right. Then you tell me, what are we sitting here for?
I don't know. Maybe for no reason. Look, this kid, he's been kicked around all his life. I mean, here, he's been living in a slum. His mother's been dead since he was 9. He spent 1.5 years in an orphanage while his father served a jail term for forgery. That's not a very good head start. He's had a pretty terrible 16 years. I think we owe him a few words. That's all.
I don't mind telling you this, mister. We don't owe him a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? What do you think the trial cost? He's lucky he got it. Look, we're all grown-ups here. We heard the facts, and you're not going to tell me we're supposed to believe that kid, knowing what he is. Look, I've lived among them all my life. You can't believe a word they say. I mean, they're born liars.
It suddenly occurs to me that you must be an ignorant woman.
What do you mean? What's he talking about?
Do you think you have a monopoly on the truth?
What are you making a federal case out of it for? How do you like this guy?
I think certain things need to be explained to this woman.
All right. It's not Sunday. Don't need a sermon, is me.
A monopoly? For goodness sake.
If we're going to discuss this case, let's stick to the facts.
Right. We have a job to do, let's do it. Maybe if the gentleman who's disagreeing down there could tell us why, you know, tell us what he thinks, we could show him where he's probably mixed up.
What are you doing?
Oh, this is one of the products that I work on at the ad agency. Rice Pops, the breakfast with the built-in bounce. I wrote that line.
Yes, it's very catchy. If you don't mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have this habit of doodling. It keeps me thinking clearly.
We're trying to get someplace here. I mean, we can
Well,
sit here.
listen, maybe this is an idea. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here, but it seems to me that it's up to us to convince this gentleman that we're right and he's wrong. Maybe if we each took a minute or two, I mean, it's just a quick thought.
No, I think it's a good one. Maybe if we went once around the table in order of jury numbers.
Anything. Let's start it off.
Okay, that means you're first.
Oh. Well, it's hard to put into words. I just think he's guilty. I thought it was obvious from the word go. I mean, nobody proved otherwise.
Nobody had to prove otherwise. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The defendant doesn't even have to open his mouth. That's in the Constitution. You've heard of it.
Well, sure, I've heard of it. I know what it is. The man's guilty. I mean, somebody saw him do it.
Okay. Now, here's what I think, and I have no personal feelings about this at all. I'm talking facts, okay? Number one, let's take the old man who lived on the second-story apartment right underneath the room where the killing took place. At 10 after 12, on the night of the killing, he heard loud noises in the apartment upstairs. He says it sounded like a fight. Then the old man hears the boy yell out, "I'm going to kill you." A split second later, he hears a body fall, and he runs to the door of his apartment just in time to see the kid running down the stairs and out of the house. So he calls the police, and they find the father with a knife in his chest.
And the coroner fixed the time of death at around midnight.
Right. There were facts for you. You can't refute facts. Look, I'm as sentimental as the next guy. I know the kid is only 16, but he's still got to pay for what he did.
I'm with you, Pops.
Well, it was obvious to me, anyways, that the boy's entire story was flimsy. He claims that he was at the movies during the time of the killing, and yet 1 hour later, he couldn't remember what films he saw or who played in them.
That's right. Did you hear that? That's absolutely right.
No one saw him going into or out the theater that night.
Listen, What about the woman across the street? If her testimony don't prove it, nothing does.
That's right. She was the one who actually saw the killing.
What's going on here?
Just a minute. Here's a woman. Here's a woman who's lying in bed and she can't sleep. She's dying with the heat, know what I mean? Anyway, she looks out a window and across the street, she sees the kid stick the knife into his father. The time is 12:10 on the nose. Everything fits. Look, she's known the kid all his life. His window is right opposite hers across the L tracks, and she swore she saw him do it.
Through the window of a passing elevated train.
Right. This L train had no passengers on it. It was just being moved downtown. The lights were out, remember? And they proved it in court that at night, you can look through the windows of an L train when the lights are out and see what's happening on the other side. They proved it.
I'd like to ask you something.
Sure.
You don't believe the boy, so how come you believe the woman? She's one of them, too, isn't she?
You are a pretty smart fellow,
Hey,
aren't
let's take it easy.
you? No, what takes the wife about a tell him?
Come on, sit down! What are you letting him get you all upset for?
Come on. Let's calm down. Let's try to keep it peaceful in here. Okay? Whose turn is it? All right, how about you?
I'll pass it.
That's your privilege. How about the next gentleman?
I don't know. I started to be convinced pretty early on in the case. I was looking for motive. That's very important. If there's no motive, where's the case? So anyways, the testimony from the woman across the hall from the kid's apartment, that was very powerful. Didn't she say something about an argument between the father and the boy around 7 o'clock that night? I mean, I can be wrong.
It was 8 o'clock, not 7.
That's right. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, they heard an argument but couldn't hear what it was about. Then they heard the father hit the boy twice, and finally they saw the boy walk angrily out of the house. What does that prove?
I mean, it doesn't prove anything. It's just part of the picture. I never said it proved anything.
You said it proved motive for the killing. The prosecuting attorney said the same thing. I don't think it's a very strong motive. This boy, he's been hit so many times that violence is practically a normal state of affairs for him. I can't see two slaps provoking him into murder.
It may have been 2 slaps too many. Everyone has a breaking point.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. How about the next man?
Me, I don't know.